afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. Today's date is Saturday, December 14th. Bo apologizes for his loud eating of the bone. We have two college basketball games today. It'll be Missouri and Kansas. Mizzou and Long Island will play. Players to watch out for: Tamar Bates and Michael Davis for the Long Island. That comes up, and Michael Davis, who averages 17.5 points a game. Other Mizzou player to watch out for: Anthony Robinson, who is consistently one of the best player on the team. Those two featured in beating Kansas last week. Anthony Robinson has a high of 29. Tamar Bates had a great game last week. He hit his high last week. Tip is at 11 today. Kansas will play NC State at 7-3. They've dropped number 9 after losing twice last week. They're only like one of 5 or 6 or 7 teams to do that. The Hawks to host. Players to watch out for: KJ Adams, Hunter Dickerson, Zeke Mayo. And since the NC State is not a local team, we'll just look at Marcus Hill. KU is favored by 7. Tip for that game is at 2:15. Kansas State has not been struggling, but they don't play for a while. On the podcast, you listen to Gary Parrish. We keep it with the teammate going on this podcast and what a good teammate is as we began that series yesterday, thanks to a teammate not being very good on the 49ers. Following this podcast from yesterday, we talked about what it meant to be a good teammate. That series continues. Unselfish, great teams, bright lights and spotlights need to be unselfish to allows one to make a play right. They don't care who gets credit. No, the start of the team is the team. These are unselfish teammates seeking opportunities to praise others. Hard workers, the greatest teammates are hard workers. They have a high energy and a rise of level of energy. Every room, gym they enter, these teammates show up every day and non-exclusive and give their best. It's in nature, give the maximum effort, and by doing that, so they enforce everyone to that team to rise and level of play. Cheering of one great team and everyone, these teammates support everyone, the team, including all players and coaches and managers. Teammates support everyone, team, including all players, coaches, managers. They all are about the name on the front of the jersey and not the number 1 on the back. It doesn't matter what the All-Stars players going to do in D1. Kids who never play, and who cares? At the end of the season, these teammates are cheering loudly. Each person they have honor calling their teammate. Don't bring drama. Great teammates don't bring drama or negatively to teams. Simply put, don't allow drama to be part of the culture. They help create culture, living the standards which are put on the prosper when they are practicing. They're not checking their phones and sending snaps or eagerly gossiping. They are teammates with lifting and setting practice, enthusiastic practice. Complete teammate, everyday teammate. These teammates don't take these days off. Heck, they don't take drills off. They complete everything. Is healthy competition by having the mindset of helping the team stay sharp. Competency is not allowed to creep into pictures, into cultures. Players who compete every day push their teammates to become better, and in the process, they take their team to new heights. That's Sam on Sports on Teammates.
You heard what George Kittle said. You heard what his other teammates said. I don't blame them one bit. That is as egregious as it gets as far as I'm concerned. Yes, we should not be defined by our worst moment. I get that part. But it's really, really hard to overcome you not even thinking about your teammates and saying, hey, I'm not going to be there for y'all. And in the middle of action, you walk off the field. I can't imagine anything worse than that as a teammate.
Yes, I second that. But I think it's a bigger issue here just in overall sports that, Devondre Campbell's situation should be talked about in baseball, basketball, football, lacrosse, any team sport. And I get it. You're human. I get it. Those things are on your mental. I get it. Certain things are overwhelming and you can't verbally process it at the right time to your coaches, to yourself even, and even to your teammates. But my thing is, why dress? Like if you feel that overwhelmed and compelled to say, like, man, these folks trying me, bro. Like we've had those interactions. Yep. Why dress? Because this needs to be said to every athlete watching. You walk out on your team, you're at the point of no return. You might as well be walking out with the Grim Reaper. Because there's nothing that could be done. You could come back from a team meeting and say, hey, man, I apologize. They'll probably forgive you, but they'll never forget.
They'll never trust you.
They'll never trust you. So in that instance, that's not to say that you don't have emotions, RC. That's not to say that you're going to be a puppet, RC. That's not to say that you're going to be a person that, man, you do what we tell you to do, a dictatorship. You play on our team, we paying you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not to say that. It's to say, to voice your opinion and say, hey, if that's how y'all feel, I'm not going to dress.
Yeah.
Don't give the pump fake or the illusion like, all right, boy, I'm going to dress, because you know what comes with that, with the expectations. Guys go down, okay, now your number is going to be called.
Yeah.
And it's the look of it. You lose all credibility to some people when you out there battling. You got your knuckles bleeding, your head, you know what I'm saying, knocked off. You got dirt all on your sleeves. And you're to just tap out and say, no, I'm good, I'm straight.
You said you feel it, right? Like that somebody tried you.
Yeah.
Well, Devondre Campbell tried this whole team. And let's think about what this team has been through this year. You got Trent Williams down, CMC's down.
Yep.
You have all of these players. Brandon Ayuk is gone for the season. Now, let's go beyond that. Charvarius Ward, who was one of the people that spoke after the game, he's returning to play not only after injury, he's returning to play after losing his child. His 15-month-old daughter passed this year. And so now this is a man who is recovering from that, a loss that's unimaginable, and he's out here putting it on the line for his team.
Yeah.
He's out here saying these things that are going on at my house, the people that I have to take care of, the sort of depression that we are fighting through, I'm still going to go put it on the line to try to win the football game.
Yeah.
And these are all the people that have sold into this team for years. You got somebody like George Kittle that has played through injury, somebody like George Kittle that has gone out in games and not had the sort of targets that he's want to have, but he still blocks, but he still plays, but he still cares. And now you're Devondre Campbell, and you understood when you were picked up by this team that the only reason you got a job on the San Francisco 49ers is because Drake Greenlaw tore his Achilles. Drake Greenlaw, who is also sewn into this team much more than you and has way more deposits into the emotional bank accounts of everybody on this field. Well, go be a man, go be a professional, go be an adult, and have that conversation on Monday morning. Because once we cross those lines, nobody cares about what you're dealing with. Yeah. And to walk out on your team, to me, is to walk out on yourself. And I'm never giving up on the name on the back of my jersey because that's all I get to leave the field with.
Well, you're right about that, RC. I would just say it's incomplete because it's not just walking out on yourself. It's walking out on your brothers, and it's leaving them in harm's way. Because obviously, if they lean on you, they're deficient without you, and you didn't care. And that's something that needs to be brought to the table here.